It's been so long since you smiled. Tell me where you left an empty child. Oh, let's have a feast on those who least expected this. The time is now, I swear we won't regret it. Won't regret it. To the light, I got tunnel vision signs. I got higher than I like, too pretentious to rectify. Looking back, I know you tried. No, but does it still possess your life? Let's go out and get electric one more time.
Welcome everybody to the Talladega Superspeedway once again here for the Dega 200. It is going to be a incredibly intense regular season finale here as we head into Talladega. Right now the starting grid is just about to get underway here at Talladega. Again, welcome to the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series. Welcome to the Racing Line Broadcasting Network here for this evening's event. More specifically, I'm going to get right into your starting grid here for this evening. It's Benjamin Nelson and Lucas Cram first and second place by 1,000th of a second separating the two, and we head to the rest of the field, which is going to be rounded out, at least the top three, rounded out being number 9 of Brandon Hoff. The 7 of Dustin Schwingle will start position number 4. Dan Cruz rounds out your top 5, with Luke Parks starting in the 6th place position. 7th place will be the 5 of Gavin Jones. Sean Howell will start 8th. 9th place is Clint Spillman, and rounding out the top 10 is Quinn Gingrich. Alex Bell starts off in 11th. 12th place will be Brett Murphy. 13th is Kyle Dega. Christopher Lewis will start 14th. 15th place being rounded out by Lucas Strayer, with Nick Olson starting in 16th. Alan Ballacino, the first of the drivers to not set a qualifying time, he'll start 17th. 18th place is Kyle Manger. 19th is Colby Wells, and 20th will be Robbie Lyons. We're having a few difficulties on who's in 21st and 22nd, so apparently 23rd is going to be Stephen Gale, 24th Rodney Evans, although I wouldn't be surprised if they were 21st and 22nd respectively. So by the looks of it, a possible 24-car field here for this week. And before we get underway, here is pretty much the playoff grid heading into this race. This is the regular season finale, and everything will change after this. Benjamin Nelson and Lucas Cram are all locked in, of course. Alex Fox, Dustin Schwingle, pretty much anybody from 3rd to about 17th mathematically has a chance of getting in. And while we notice they're in the starting grid, apparently Alex Fox is one of the drivers who is not here for this week, so we'll see where he falls by next week. Hopefully he'll still be in the playoff standings by then. The cutoff, well, it is going to be close between these 6 drivers. The 88 of Clint Spillman, the 45 of Colby Wells, the 9 of Brandon Hoff, the 25 of Kyle Manger, the 97 of Robbie Lyons, and the 24 of Nick Olson. They are all here for this week. Actually, yes, they are all here for this week. So we'll see exactly how this goes for all the drivers involved. Pace truck making its way around turns 3 and 4 as we await once again, another 75-lap race here at Talladega. Pace truck moves over to the apron, getting ready to let the field loose this time by for another 200 miles at Talladega Superspeedway. The third to last race here at Talladega, and it's the regular season finale. This is the deciding race to see who gets in the playoffs and who is out. Green flag flies here at Talladega, and we're underway for another 200 miles. first lap in the books already being led by the 33 of Benjamin Nelson. The 44 of Cram has fallen back to about 6th place for the time being in terms of physical positioning. The 88 of Spillman below the apron momentarily gets everything collected once again. Now this is the part of the race where you just have to hope that everyone at least is thinking about making it to the stage end. The stage end, of course, as always, is at lap number 35 at the halfway point of this race. If the caution comes out before then, though, I believe it will go to the scored lap under caution on for that top 10 getting the points. Right now, we just have to wait and see what will really become of the rest of this race here, as everyone has slowly started to form the outside lane once again. Inside lane is just a little bit of a ways ahead. Colby Wells has actually caught up now to the back of this main group, decided to make his way through very early on in the race. A group of 3 cars laying back, it's Robbie Lyons, Sean Howell, and Rodney Evans. And while we're here, we're going into a little bit more detail on who is pretty much eligible to be racing for the top 10 in the playoff standings here after this race. Well, as this race goes on, I should say. So aside from Benjamin Nelson and Lucas Cram, who are both already locked in to the playoffs, the drivers who are eligible to race are Alex Fox, Dustin Schwingle, Alex Bell, Alan Ballacino, Sean Howell, Clint Spillman, Colby Wells, Brendan Hoff. Kyle Manger is outside looking in, along with Robbie Lyons, Nick Olson, Robert Rader, Lucas Strayer, Brett Murphy, and Derek Newsom. They're all on the outside looking in. And that's back to 17th in the standings. Now, 22 cars here is going to be a huge shakeup, especially with, again, I believe, I'm double checking again, I don't believe Alex Fox is here for this week, unfortunately, so we'll see how really of an advantage or disadvantage that he is at coming into this event, because if we actually double check the point standings here, at most a driver can earn, at least looking through right now, doing some quick calculations as well just to make sure so we don't mess anything up. At most, a driver could earn 45 points if they win a race. So this is going to be incredibly close and maybe, just maybe, lead to the 27 and getting shuffled out of the playoffs. We'll wait and see, of course, by next week. The other Alex, however, in the 15, Alex Bell, he does have a shot at getting in. He's 5th place in the playoff standings. And so far, he's doing relatively well. 9th place on track. Already has a little bit of damage, actually, on the back bumper, unfortunately. Not too terrible, and nothing really too much to hurt his aerodynamics. Oh, however, someone's aerodynamics are going to get absolutely messed up, and that is the 88 of Spillman. I believe got shuffled out, actually, in some way, shape, or form. Not entirely sure as to why. And we'll see if we can take a quick replay at that just to see what exactly had happened riding on board the number 88 of Clint Spillman. Oh, he just checked up and had to slow down. That looks to be the case. He just had to check up, and unfortunately that slowed him down by a very significant margin, but he is still continuing on, of course, as we go back to live pictures. As we see the 3 of Luke Parks getting a huge shove from the 44 of Lucas Cram on the outside lane. Does he clear the 33 of Nelson? He does not. Through the trouble they go, already on lap number 8 this time by. In fact, we're right on board with somebody who's way in the back here. This is the 43 Kyle Dega, who we're riding on board with. As he makes his way off down the back straightaway. Not exactly in the draft, not in a rush to get by Robbie Lyons entirely. Could be using the draft, but just taking his time. As he did have Stephen Gale behind him as well. So a relatively calm race to start off right now here at Talladega. Of course, a few drivers getting shuffled around, almost quite literally actually by the looks of that. Down the tri-oval exit, down to the inside goes Benjamin Nelson probably no one's surprised, especially considering that, well, I mean, Nelson has been one of the drivers that we've seen, really one of the only, I think, of 2 drivers to try and control the inside and outside lanes at the same time. And he's really no stranger to see up front here at the top portion of the field. Well, 3 wide in the tri-oval, and you can see just how wide the entire track is. And of course, again, another driver that's really no stranger now to the top side is the 15 of Alex Bell. He's been utilizing that top side a little bit more often every single race. By the looks of that, he sees someone go to the top side, he decides, well, you know what, I might as well. Nick Olson decides against it. He'll drop back behind the 5 of Gavin Jones, who I don't believe we've seen in quite some time. It's good to see him back. Oh, contact made as well. Brendan Hoff gets shuffled out. Luke Parks and Alan Balacino up to the top side. Balacino had just scraped the outside wall in what looked to be there down the back straightaway, just way too hard of a push. And that's going to send the outside lanes, well, pretty much all the way now to the back. Now the 24 of Olsen goes out to the outside lane. He doesn't have help originally. Now he does in the form of the 25 of Kyle Dega, the 9 of Hoff as well on the top side. Manger drops right back down to the inside. Could have been 4 wide there. The 25 decided to move right between the 24 and the 5 at the time. And what a series of events that has been. And to the outside goes Clint Spillman, someone who we've only kind of seen just hovering around the top 5 for most races around here. We have seen him, of course, up at the front, but I believe last week at Talladega he was just about to get a top 5 finish, but was involved in a last lap crash off turn number 4. That shuffled him back a little bit. In fact, we will fact check that right now just to make sure, just to double check the standings as of last week. And last week, Clint Spillman did finish in 7th place, so a bit of a yo-yo almost in a sense from where we've seen him. We see him up high in the race, and we've also seen drivers going 4 wide apparently in the race as the 11 has connection issues. Comes back into existence, luckily. To the outside goes Colby Wells, who won last week. Everyone's scrambling for any and every position possible as we see just this down the back straightaway. 4 wide almost at the front for the lead, and it is 4 wide for the lead as we go through turns 3 and 4. It's only lap 12, guys, though keep in mind the stage doesn't end until lap 35. This could, again, these drivers only have 1 fastest pair available as well to them, if they do need it, and they might need it at this rate. Everyone utilizing every single portion of this track that's available to them. As Lewis now is up on the outside lane. A little bit of help from Gavin Jones. I swear we just saw Colby Wells up in front. Well, now he's fallen all the way back to 12th place behind Clint Spillman all of a sudden. And honestly, we did not expect that. I honestly did not even expect the 45 to drop back so incredibly quickly after that. I thought he was still up at the front. Right now we are seeing some intense racing here as we go off turn number 4 back through the tri-oval here. We are closing in on the final few laps before the stage end. Closing in on 20 laps to go as Hoff makes it 3 wide. He's no stranger to making the outside lane work. And here comes the number 3 of Luke Parks with him. Followed by the 88 of Spillman, the 25 of Dega, or Manger rather, and the 02 of Balacino. Now, speaking of Dega, we'll see if we can find him here in our list. It is back in 16th, number 43 machine is Kyle Dega. Just behind this main group, and look at this, 3 wide, the outside lane just getting an edge. And it's relatively equal. And this is what the lead pack looks like. This is pretty much what the field looks like as we go through the travel once again across the start-finish line. This time by, it is 21 laps to go until the stage ends. Down the back straight, you have to be incredibly careful, of course, with movements. Meanwhile, Christopher Lewis goes down. Hoff, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he wanted to make a move to the inside, but he didn't want to really cut off that momentum. Lewis cutting it very, very close with trying to get out front. He's trying to control all 3 lanes, I believe, down the front or down the back straightaway. The outside lane gets a huge shot, and so is the 95. Caution of the day, or the first caution. It's about the back half of the field, maybe a quarter of that involved, as Christopher Lewis gets turned around, unfortunately. And Talladega being Talladega, some people probably could have been seeing it for miles. Nick Olsen as well, unfortunately, involved in this crash. Doesn't look to be any too much major damage. Maybe a little bit on the front there, but not too bad. Same goes for Christopher Lewis. Not too much damage. It's only on the front. And fast repair is available to them. Replay coming up momentarily here on your screen as they headed down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. It unfortunately did not go too well for the 95 of Christopher Lewis. Replay on your screen now. Down the back straightaway, Christopher Lewis, the middle car on the inside lane, getting pushed by Gavin Jones. And it looks like right here, yeah, just the momentum from Jones and the 44 combined, and the lost momentum, unfortunately, had moved the 95 out of the way. Into Benjamin Nelson as well, into the 11 by the looks of that. A few other drivers get a piece of that as well, unfortunately. We're right on board here with Benjamin Nelson down the back straightaway. Yeah, nothing Nelson could have done there, unfortunately. In fact, a few other drivers actually made contact as well. Alex Fox, the 43 of Dega. Somebody else who was back there involved with that. That's the 52 of Stephen Gale that also made contact. Trying to slow up and just know where to go. It kind of parted, but at the same time, not as much as he would have liked. Looking at the pit road exit right now, majority of the drivers all regain tires and fuel, or some repairs if you're a few other drivers. No one has taken their fast repair so early on. It wasn't a massive wreck, so it wasn't really enough to mess anybody up. Kyle Dega did stay out, although it's probably just to get a point of some sort. Not sure as to why, or if he didn't take a fast repair. In fact, he didn't. Kyle Dega was unable to get to his pit stall. He was in pit road, but he didn't get to his pit stall, so we'll probably see the 43 pull off into pit road this time by. But in the meantime, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network with the Sim Auto Racing Group Super Speedway Series here for the Dega 200.
Come coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Aloma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all he's with here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
And welcome back to the Talladega Superspeedway here for the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway series here with the Dega 200 here on the Racing Live Broadcasting Network. So far, well, these aren't exactly your finishing results, but we'll say as the current standings as of right now. Brandon Hoff, Lucas Cram, Colby Wells. In fact, I'll actually just go ahead and use the correct graphic here at the start-finish line. Your top 10 restarting is Brandon Hoff, Lucas Cram, Colby Wells, Alan Ballacino, Clint Spillman, and then we have Luke Parks, Dustin Schwingle, Benjamin Nelson, Robbie Lyons, and Dane Cruz. And that is your top 10 coming to this restart at the start-finish line. Also paging the number 44 of Lucas Cram to not text and drive, even if it's under caution, just to be safe. You never know, trust me. But speaking of Lucas Cram, of course, he's starting on the outside with his teammate on the inside, so we'll see how exactly this plays out. And judging by the, of course, 7.5 second pit stop relatively, well, in fact, we'll go with this. Pit stops between the entire top 4 here are as follows. Brandon Hoff had a 7.6 second pit stop. Lucas Cram had a 7.4 second pit stop. Colby Wells had a 7.4 second pit stop, and Alan Ballacino had a 7.5 second pit stop. So, if that's with the pit stops just for fuel alone, then that's going to be quite interesting when it comes down to the next pit stops at the stage, the completion of this stage, in just over 15 laps time. Green flag being held, getting ready to wave, and it is on once again here at Daytona. Just like that, as we get back underway, back up to full speed, Colby Wells immediately giving a great shot to the back bumper of the 9 of Brandon Hoff. But the outside lane is a lot more formed up in a sense in terms of being connected quite literally to other drivers, but obviously the inside lane being the inside lane, it's always going to find a way to prevail. It's always the preferred lane just on the exit of the corners. To the entry of the corner, though, it is the outside lane, as both the 44 of Cram and the 02 of Ballacino have been showing here on this entry of turn number 3. Looking back here, we see Dane Cruz in the 46. He passed through pit road, didn't take a pit stop, didn't take tires, didn't do anything. So Dane Cruz, same set of tires, maybe just really saved some fuel, but that's relatively it for that number 46. 16 laps to go as well into the stage completion, and the top 10 will get points heading into the playoffs for the next 4 races. Down the back straightaway, once again, everyone relatively even right now, and we see double fall racing up until just about position number 14, starting with the number 25, Kyle Manger. Kyle Manger, of course, as mentioned, P14, all the way back to Kyle Dega, who unfortunately didn't take a fast repair, interestingly enough, so I'm not sure if the fast repairs are no longer available. There's an error, but Kyle Dega is on a very serious downside. In fact, he might actually be calling it a day, and I wouldn't be surprised as he goes into pit road, unfortunately, and, well, we'll let you know, judging by the update on our timing screen, momentarily, if the 43 does decide to retire. But the outside lane, as someone's having connection issues, not sure if it was a 24, but it was someone who was very closely colored to the 24, I will say that. But Benjamin Nelson, well, the outside lane is just starting to go again. We'll just go with that. And very, very quickly as well, much more quickly than we anticipated. As Dega now gets his fast repair complete, but well, really, actually, I would say at what cost, but Kyle Dega actually may have a little bit of a good strategy here. As bad as it may seem, he could turn this around for that number 43. In fact, we'll see where he comes out compared to the rest of the field, actually. And he's got some good distance actually between himself and the lead pack, and well, the lead pack is going to have to sort something out at some point, because they are charging onto that number 43. But if Kyle Dega does go one lap down, then he's fine. He would be the only driver one lap down. Everyone, all 22 cars at the moment, are all on the lead lap this time by. That may be subject to change here as we go through the tri-oval. Everyone's going to have to sort everything out here, and I'm pretty sure the field wishes that they caught up to the 43 in that tri-oval, and not on this entry to turn 1. This is going to be close to look out for here, as they'll go 4 wide, and yep, there it is. It's going to be contact, and it's a slide down to the inside for a number of drivers, one notably being, I believe that's the 46 of Dane Cruz. It is. He'll get shuffled out. It was 4 wide for a moment up at the front, and somehow everybody makes it through. And, well, I guess that's a little bit of a note for later, saying, well, if you don't want to sort it out, if you don't want to go too wide and sort everything out amongst yourselves, then something, of course, is going to happen if you don't want to go back double file. That's where sometimes you have to really just admit defeat, at least momentarily, drop back down to the middle lane, and then reform that third lane at another time. You don't want to put yourself or the rest of the field really at risk if you're up on the outside lane trying to get by a lead lap car. Meanwhile, somebody's taking a solo slingshot to the outside lane. Was Clint Spillman. Everyone has sorted themselves out, though. Spillman will get the draft of the number 24. But Dane Cruz, man, oh man, what a huge loss it is. He has no draft. He has no help. And I'm pretty sure that's probably a commentator's curse for me saying, well, it's only going to be the 43 of Kyle Dega that's one lap down. We'll see how things go within the next just about 5 or so laps. I'll take a replay here to see what exactly happened on board for the 43, or for the 46 rather, of Dane Cruz here on the entry to turn 1, because everyone had to have a huge scramble there on the exit of the corner. Both entry and exit, I should say. So we'll see riding on board the 46. You see over there Kyle Dega up on the top side in the distance. Everyone's trying to sort themselves out, trying to get down low as low as possible. Oh, we got tagged by somebody, and it may have either been the 88 or the 41. But what a save that was by the 46. He still held it as well throughout the entire time. And we'll see if we can get one more look from the blimp camera angle here. 46 of Kyle Dega, second car in the middle lane, tries to go down low. It was just a miscommunication actually. So he comes down onto the 45 of Colby Wells, who gets a little bit lucky, but Dane Cruz sideways about 3 different times on the apron, and somehow, some way, manages to keep it under control. What a great job by that 46 just to keep it under control. That's impressive, no doubt. As we come back to live pictures here, the field is halfway now down the back straightaway. And this is what the field looks like. It is Luke Parks looking to be out front. Lucas Kram leading the inside lane with his teammate Brendan Hoff. 9 laps to go at the start-finish line until the completion of the stage. And there goes the top line forming up once again, being led this time by Nick Olsen in that number 24 instead of the 33 of Benjamin Nelson. Olsen, must have been Olsen that must have had that connection issue a little bit earlier on. Clint Spillman drops both of them off, and from out of absolutely nowhere, somebody please tell me where Robbie Lyons came from, because now he goes to the outside. Nick Olsen loses connection for a moment again. That is, of course, unfortunate packet loss between himself and the server, so hopefully everything will sort out soon on his end. But Robbie Lyons from 20th to, well, what was about 8th place when we just focused on him. He's falling back right now temporarily, but from just out of nowhere, Robbie Lyons, again, he's in line, really, to try and get into the top 10 for the playoff grid here. Every point counts, especially for Robbie Lyons, who is on the outside looking in. That same goes for the 25 of Kyle Manger, who is sitting just in the middle of this group, actually. There he is, up on the outside lane, that Exalta, that white and red Exalta car. Almost Gordon colors, actually, on the back bumper there. Very nice, a very good paint scheme by the looks of it as well. But since everyone got kind of shuffled out from Kyle Dega being lapped, now everyone is wondering, well, where exactly is everyone going to be sorted out? Kyle Dega, at the moment, is actually just clutching onto the tail end of this field. He's just behind our timing tower, actually, and we'll see him here in a moment. There he is. At number 43 machine, just sitting behind Robbie Lyons, just hanging out. Also just being hidden, unfortunately, by our timing tower. But he's in a great spot, that number 43. Granted, he's 1 lap down, but he will be able to very quickly get back on the lead lap, although that depends on where the 46 of Dane Cruz is when everything is all said and done. Cruz is all the way over here on this side of the speedway, and, well, it's a very long way between Cruz and the leader, so we'll actually wait for the lead pack to go to the start-finish line this time by. And we'll see where Cruz is in relation to that for these next 6 laps before the stage ends and the caution gets thrown for the completion of the stage. Leader's at the line now, and Cruz is just about halfway down the back straightaway, so we'll see what happens. No one really knows except for, well, probably the timing screen in a sense, but we'll wait and see. But in the meantime, Luke Parks has made his way out front. Lucas Kram as well on the inside lane once again with Hoff behind him. Balacino still has yet to get a win, and I'm pretty sure he's just chomping at the bit again. Every time he's up here in the front, every time we've seen the O2 up here in the front, it's like his number is almost being a bit too literal in a sense. He's up here at the front consistently. He's got the consistency. He's 6th place in the playoff grid coming into this race. Somehow not unironically 2nd place. But Balacino he's chomping at the bit. He wants this to go well, as I believe Gavin Jones is going to have to fall back to the outside. Probably a combination of cooling the engine and trying to fall back to Nick Olsen and Robbie Lyons, who both remain up top. That's gonna shuffle the outside lane quite a ways back, however. And look at that smooth transition, though. Lucas Kram moves up to the middle lane, and just like that, the rest of the middle lane has, well, pretty much just followed Balacino's suit. And out front goes Kram in front of Luke Parks. A very quick and easy pass made by that 44 machine. Balacino continues to try and lead the outside, maybe giving the 25 a little bit of a break. But here comes Luke Parks to the outside with 4 laps to go in the stage, keep in mind. Playoff points do matter here in these stages. It's at the completion of the stage. So now it's Luke Parks out front. I know I've said this before. I'm going to say it again, unfortunately, but Balacino, I believe I mentioned this before, but Balacino always somehow ends up being 2nd in line on the outside lane, pushing the driver in front, but somehow, some way, it's it's like his car just doesn't want to go. It's like everyone's cars don't want to go when they're pushing Balacino. His car just refuses to get that momentum on the outside. It's a lot of work for sure. But he's consistent, of course. But that goes for Clint Spillman, Benjamin Nelson, and the 38 of Sean Howell. They're also consistent. They're going to be 3 wide, and this is going to be a huge shuffle within the top 10. And we're definitely going to be needing our at the line graphic momentarily. That's I can tell you that for sure. Oh, Bobble from the 88 just barely hangs on to it in front of the 33. However, who doesn't hang on to it is that number 9 Machine of Hoff. Comes up in front of Strayer. Strayer has to slow up, unfortunately, but somehow the 9 of Hoff hangs on to it. That's 2 great saves today. The 46 of the 46 of Cruz, and now the 9 of Hoff. Valentino could try and get to the lead, but no, he's actually going to try and help Luke Parks, actually. He's going to follow that number 3 right through. And just like that, the outside lane gets broken up once again from somebody just losing control on the apron. Not entirely sure what happened to the number 9. We'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, Luke Parks trying to control both lanes. That was very, very close. And 2 laps to go here in this stage, the first half of the race. Everyone, of course, is able to make it to the end of the stage. And they'll have to pit regardless within about another 10 laps or so if they do stay out come the completion of the stage caution. But regardless, it's Balacino and, well, Parks and Balacino out front on the inside lane. Balacino was going to say waiting to make his move. Now he does. A great time for that outside pass. However, unfortunately, the timing was great, but the placing of that pass was not going to work out. Again, the completion of lap 35. So this is going to be the final lap for this stage as we come to the start-finish line this time by. The proverbial white flag is out. And with 40 laps to go, we'll get the completion of the stage, and we'll see who is going to get sorted where. Can Balacino get help and get shoved out front by the 25 of Kyle Manger is the question. The L2 chomping at the bit. He wants as many points as possible, of course. Luke Parks, keep in mind, nowhere near being in the playoffs. Balacino is, so we'll see. There's the 46 of Dane Cruz. We'll have to see where the 21st position sorts itself out here. Coming off turn number 4, it's going to be possibly a 3-car race to the start-finish line. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a side-by-side drag race, however. Regardless, coming to the start-finish line, it's going to be Luke Parks at the start-finish line. And here it is, as they crash actually behind. That's that's number 7. They crash behind them, actually. This is going to be this is going to be bad for some of these drivers. Dustin Schwingle crashed at the start-finish line, as well as the 80 of Clint Spillman, as the truck is flying through, faster than I've ever seen a truck drive. But we see here the top 10, Luke Parks, Alan Balacino, Lucas Cram, Kyle Manger, Benjamin Nelson, Dustin Schwingle, Sean Howell, Nick Olson, Brendan Hoff, and Clint Spillman. I believe in technicality, Luke Parks would be getting the 10 points for winning the stage, but I guess in theory that would be redacted, and it will be 9 points to Alan Balacino to help him out in the playoff grid heading on. But regardless, we're going to interview, if possible, the 3 of Luke Parks momentarily here, as they are all waiting up for the pace truck to very slowly catch up, as it's taking its very sweet time, going very slow highway speed down through turns 3 and 4. That's the second caution of the day, and we'll take a look and see exactly what happened here at the start-finish line, as we will get an interview shortly with your stage winner, Luke Parks. But I'm not entirely sure what happened. We'll have to take a look back. The drivers involved coming in that crash to the line, it was the 24, the 7, the 9, the 88. And I believe it was just those 4. No, the 38 of Sean Howell as well was involved. The 5 of Gavin Jones may have just gotten a piece of it. He did. So we'll see. Really, in fact, we'll see if we can get a blimp camera angle here coming across the start-finish line here, down through the tri-oval. It's just about the middle. Everyone trying to scramble for position. The 24 maybe try to get back in front. Or back behind the number 7, but Gavin Jones, unfortunately, yeah, he barely stayed off the 88, then got a huge shot into the number 5. But what we're wondering, actually, as well, is where did the 46 finish across the start-finish line, I should say, in compared to Kyle Dega? Well, that question has been answered, because it will be Kyle Dega, I believe, with the free pass at the start-finish line. Apparently it is not, depending on the time of the caution, so we'll wait and see, although it should have been the 43 of Dega, I believe. But regardless, we're going to be going back to live pictures instead, and we'll see if we can get a word in with the stage winner, the 3 of Luke Parks here, as we go back to live pictures here at Talladega Superspeedway. Luke Parks, do you have a copy with us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, congratulations on that stage win, and well, judging by the playoff grid, I've been triple checking and quadruple checking. Fortunately, well, it's not exactly going to benefit you, but it does give you at least bragging rights heading into the final portion of this regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I wasn't gonna be making the playoffs this year or this season. So, I mean, I'm just out here having fun and trying to compete for some stage wins and some race wins too. So, I mean, I got the stage win now, so hopefully I can keep it going for the rest of the race.
And heading into the rest of this race, do you think the implications that this being a regular season finale with drivers that are in the playoffs, or are you just gonna try and just do what you do normally, just race your own race?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to win first, but if one of my good friends in here, if they're maybe on the bubble trying to get in, I might try to help them out there at the end of the race. We'll just have to see how it goes. So yeah,
I definitely will wait and see. Thanks for your time. We hope to talk to you again at the end of the race.
I appreciate it.
That was the number 3 of Luke Parks, finishing off in the first place position at the completion of this stage. A few drivers going into the pit road once again to get a few more pairs. Hello to Alex Fox, who, by the way, Alex, I'm not sure if you know this, but you might be in danger of getting eliminated. We'll see, of course, pretty much by the end of tonight, I believe, but unfortunately not by the end of the broadcast. And now we found out the reason why Alex Fox isn't here this week. Apparently he is incredibly far from his home, which of course means only one thing. He is incredibly far from his sim rig, so it's really unfortunate. So I'm pretty sure Alex is watching pretty closely and just probably staring at the at the point standings here, just waiting at the end of the race just to see where everything sorts itself out. So hopefully he is able to get in. He is plus 46 points. In fact, we'll bring the graphic up once again, and unfortunately it's overlapping just a little bit, but we see here, of course, where everyone has been sorted out coming into this race. Drivers at risk, I mean, realistically, I would be saying from 5th on to 17th, they're all able to get shuffled, and that's in the point standings. But at the same time, a driver can win, say, of course, win a stage, but as well as win the race and get at maximum, I believe, 45 points. So if someone from the outside in wins the race, then of course they'll be guaranteed to get in by those 45 points. But where will that put the number 27 of Alex Fox is the question heading into next week. So everybody is pretty much in line to get shuffled around, except for Benjamin Nelson and Lucas Cram. Those are the only two who can be relaxed at this point. Anybody else, well, that's unfortunately just not going to be the case. Let's take one more look near the cutoff again. It's pretty much not only down to 13th, but down to 17th, where everybody is at risk. And those drivers from 14th to 17th are Robert Rader, who I don't believe is here this week, Lucas Strayer, who is here this week, Brett Murphy, not here this week, but Derek Newsom, who also is not here this week. So really only Manger, Lyons, Olsen are able to get in. I'll see how this plays out. Very few drivers on the outside lane. I'm not sure if the lines restarts were changed to single file or if there's a miscommunication with the lineup, but regardless, green flag flies once again here at Talladega. And now the second half of the race is underway, closing into 35 laps to go here in just a couple of moments, or a couple of laps time. And speaking of Cram and Nelson, they are already out front. But Colby Wells is lurking in both of their mirrors. Watching everyone start to sort themselves out, start to form more lines this time by. What do you say we turn up the volume for you, shall we? And unfortunately, Nick Olson, who was on the inside lane, had gotten I think he got either moved up down the track or something. He must have hit the apron. We'll have to wait and see here when we double check the replay coming through turns 3 and 4. Not entirely sure what happened here. We'll see if we can get an alternate angle here. He was fourth place in line on the inside lane, so we'll probably see if we can get a replay here. So Nick Olson, fourth driver on the inside lane, that green and black 24. Quite literally cannot miss it. That's Christopher Lewis on his back bumper. And looks like just a change of momentum. Yeah, Lewis was just all over the place. Olson wanted to slow up, but Lewis unfortunately was all over the back bumper of the number 24, but somehow he does manage to hang on to it. That's the third save now that we've seen this week. I feel like it's an unintentional challenge now for drivers to start to at least somehow maybe one-up each other in terms of saving their car. I feel like it's a little bit of an unintentional challenge now at this point, but we'll see this time. But we'll see what happens in the rest of this race. Unfortunately, I think Nick Olson is having even more connection issues. There's Strayer in 20th. Kyle Dega is still stuck one lap down, unfortunately, but is with the field in case anything does happen. But Nick Olson having connection issues, unfortunately, has not come back just yet. And unfortunately, he might get throughput in this race, and that is not going to be helping him out in any way, shape, or form. Due to the fact that Nick Olson was tied for 12th with Robbie Lyons, technically 13th, coming into this race. And I believe Olson, yes, has officially dropped connection. And speaking of Robbie Lyons, again, I'm going to ask the same question again, but where did Robbie Lyons come from? All of a sudden, he's now fourth place, second place on the inside lane. In real time, he's being scored as third at the moment. Robbie Lyons from out of absolutely nowhere could be coming in clutch here. Granted, though, however, at the start-finish line, there are 31 laps to go in the race and at least one more pit stop. And that is what matters in this race here. Mercy Lions giving Cramp a bump down the back straightaway. Same goes for the 33, giving a shove to the. I think it's only the 33 that's leading the outside lane correction. So 33 getting a shove from the 25 of Kyle Manger, and Kyle Manger as well, who we just mentioned, he was also on the outside looking in 11th. What even is going on in this race? Because even I have absolutely no idea here at Talladega. 30 laps to go. And Talladega is just getting more and more, not exactly confusing, but more and more just entertaining, I guess. Well, it's 30 laps to go here, this time by as we go down the back straightaway. And considering that this is a green flag run, we have about 20 or so, well, 15 to 20 or so laps just about before the next pit stop. We're going to take a... We'll take a full screen commercial break, but we will come back if anything does happen. In the meantime, though, this is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network with the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series with the Dega 200. 29 laps to go. Lucas Cram leads with a few drivers on the outside looking in, ready to strike when necessary. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back if anything happens. And welcome back here to the Talladega Superspeedway. It is the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series with the Dega 200. And currently it is almost 25 laps to go. Luke Parks has gotten shuffled into the lead now. Lucas Cram has gotten shuffled a little bit of a ways back. Robbie Lyons was out front for quite some time. It's been a bit of three-wide racing here and there. There goes Kyle Manger now to the outside lane as we go back down the back straightaway here. 24 and a half now laps to go down the back straightaway. Alan Ballacino's back up in the mix. Robbie Lyons as well is going to be getting a great points day from this. But again, these drivers will have to pit at least one more time. They can't make it to the end unless, of course, unless they do pit a couple bobbles from a couple drivers, they do hang on to it. 25 of Mango was one of them. It looks like everyone doesn't entirely know what to do as of yet. Everyone's trying to figure things out here. Lyons goes out to the outside lane down the back straightaway. Parks has absolutely no help behind him, and that's going to be putting Lucas Cram and Robbie Lyons out front. Now this is a little bit too big of a gap. That's about 2.5 car lengths in between Cram and Parks. You can stay out there just for a bit longer, but that momentum between the two cars versus the entire field, of course the entire field will win that battle. The outside lane is able to catch up just about to the side of Robbie Lyons. Again, it is Benjamin Nelson not giving up the outside lane. The same goes for the number 9 of Brendan Hoff and the 02 of Alan Ballacino. There goes Dane Cruz to the outside, who we saw, I believe, earlier in the first half, at least, of the race, for sure in the first half of the race. We saw the 46 of Dane Cruz slide on the apron through turns 1 and 2. I believe we saw him at least get lapped. Now he's back on the lead lap in position number 8. Robbie Lyons continues to lead there on the inside lane. However, Cram has other ideas. He jumped out to the outside, gets pushed by the 33. Back out front goes the 44. I'm pretty sure Lyons is considering, of course, just getting out to the outside lane as soon as possible, but he really doesn't have a choice in the matter, unfortunately. If Lyons does want to get out, if Robbie Lyons does want to get out front, English is difficult sometimes, then Lyons will really have to shove the 44 out front. Question is, how doable can that be with 3 cars on the inside and 3 cars on the outside? Especially, at least a little bit more formed up in the rest of the field, more caught up as well. And now it's 3 cars on the inside, 4 cars on the outside. That's how Manger has joined the fray. Lyons out front of the 33 just by a couple car lengths, but Nelson just starting to reel him back in. And that loss of momentum from the 44 down the back straightaway is just not helping that 97. It's about 5 to 10 laps time, or in about 5 to 10 laps time, we're going to be seeing drivers go to pit road. So as late as maybe within the 10 to go point, we'll be seeing drivers go to pit road. But this time by here at Talladega, after only 2 cautions, 1 stage caution, 1 caution for an actual crash, it is now 20 laps to go, a projected 17 minutes remaining here in the race, projected by, of course, ATVO's timing screen. That is always, always, always subject to change, so do not take my word for that. That is counting down a very steady 16 minutes and 35 seconds and going down from there every second. Robbie Lyons is clear on the outside of the 33 of Nelson. I think he wanted to move up, but he just couldn't because that 44 was just peeking out to the outside, and the 33 of Nelson had to run. Meanwhile, everyone else relatively stagnant throughout the rest of the field. Everyone just enjoying their, just biding their time, just running around, at least for now. Dane Cruz, again, just hovering around about 8th place. He's currently 10th in terms of live time scoring. But that outside lane is not giving up. The 33, the 9 actually might be starting to slide up the racetrack by quite a lot because the 02 of Balacino is all over his back bumper. That's going to slow up the outside lane immensely, and that just threw whatever I was about to say right out the window. Alex Bell drastically moving out to the outside lane. Not sure as to why. Maybe trying to get a diamond arc into the corner to get just a little bit more momentum to catch up to the 43 of Kyle Dega, who, by the way, is still 1 lap down. There goes Robbie Lyons to the outside. But the outside lane now is just about dropped off. This is going to be great for Lyons, because if he can get out front, and he does, if he can stay out front here on the inside lane coming to pit road, well, he's both at an advantage and disadvantage. Obviously, he does have the advantage of being the first driver onto pit road, but he does have the disadvantage of being the first driver onto pit road. Here at Superspeedways, you go from relatively, actually, no, we'll take a look here, off turn number 4, as Cram moves out to the outside lane. It's very hard to believe Robbie Lyons started 20th from not qualifying, who just hangs on to it. But these drivers at some point will have to go from just about 188 miles per hour down to about 60 coming to pit road. And that's within the span of pretty much the corner exit of turn 4 and the entry to pit road. Cram back out front now very, very quickly, wasting absolutely little time to get back out front. 97 of Lyons tried to get back out to the outside, just wasn't going to work. He almost had the run, but unfortunately Nelson was just barely there on his quarter panel. Now Lyons is clear by just about a foot. And the outside lane is actually drastically falling off, and yeah, pit stops could be coming soon as the 9 of Hoff moves down to the inside apron. Or the inside lane, rather, to get right next to the apron. Almost a little bit of contact, almost a little bit of door banging between the 9 and the 33. Somehow they held off. It was almost like magnets coming together, the opposite ends of a magnet, well, the same end of a magnet, trying to meet ends. It's just not going to happen. They kind of just hover there for a bit, then they just fall right back into place. They just split right back apart, is what I should be saying. Lyons peeking out to the outside. Personally, I'm not too sure about that, as the 33 does get a run down the back straightaway with the 25, but everybody on the inside lane is going to be pitting at some point. As unfortunately, Nick Olsen did lose connection a little bit earlier on, about 15 laps ago. And make that 16 laps ago, actually. Can Benjamin Nelson get out front before pit stops occur? We'll have to wait and see. Pit window is open here within the final 15 laps. This is going to be leading up to a very interesting finish. At this point, if I was the outside lane, I'd be a little bit worried. I'd be trying to get back down to the inside. You saw Kyle Manger there on the outside, just trying to stay off of the 33, but also not trying to slow up Alan Balacino. They all sort themselves out. There's Quinn Gingrich on the inside apron. And now Benjamin Nelson moves to the inside. This is going to be the lap that everybody pits by the looks of it. Off turn 4 they come. Does anybody go to pit road? Almost. A bit of a fake out by Christopher Lewis. But no one makes a move to pit road. 14 laps to go. Time is ticking down, not only for the race, but how much fuel these drivers have left. But if I was Robbie Lyons, I'd be one of the first drivers to go into pit road with pretty much everybody. But what would be quite shocking is if everybody went to pit road all at the same time, and this is what it's looking like. At that point, I'd be keen to just get fuel only and just get out and get back going. Because if you took tires within the within 40 laps, your tires at super speedways in 40 laps, they won't be relatively worn down. You have enough time to take only fuel. And there goes the entire inside lane. Does anybody stay out? Yes. We'll see coming into pit road. Does anybody make any contact? Luckily, no. No contact made by the looks of this. 4 drivers have stayed out. But now this is a matter of who is taking what strategy. Robbie Lyons, who is second entering, looks to be taking just fuel only. Solid 7 seconds. And he's down in the way already. Cruz had overshot. Oh my goodness. Cruz had overshot by a huge margin by the looks of that. By the looks of those tire marks. By about a box and a half. And now it's who was first off. Robbie Lyons is first off pit road. Now it's the rest of the field. Your top 4. Brendan Hoff, Alan Ballacino, Kyle Menger, Brett Murphy. These 4 have to come in at the same time or they are all done for. Luckily they all do come in at the same time. Trying to keep it under control. No one locks up their brakes. And now it's a matter of just getting smoothly into your pit box and smoothly out of your pit box. The 25 first to hit his pit stall. Does he make it in? He does. The 02 stops solid in his pit stall. Does Brett Murphy stop in his pit stall? He does. Same with the 9 of Brendan Hoff. Everyone with a great entry. And it looks like Gavin Jones and Clint Spillman had yet to pit by the looks of this. They stayed out. So this will for sure cycle Robbie Lyons and, well, pretty much these groups drivers into the lead. Just a little bit more reshuffled than before. This is going to be quite close, actually, as we get off through turns 3 and 4. In fact, I think the second group might actually be able to make it. We'll have to wait and see. They cannot come above the pit apron until they exit turn 2, until that blue line on the back straightaway. And that blue cone. They come out to the inside lane. Do they have enough momentum? It's going to be a stack-up of sorts almost. Robbie Lyons is going to fly right by with everybody else. And he just gets by everybody. What a close pit exit. But what a great job by everybody. And that is... Sean Howell, I believe? Well, somebody's around. Caution's out for some reason. Not sure as to why. No one has spun out. Well, the caution is out. But we have no idea as to why, unfortunately. We'll have to wait and see what happened here. But the caution is out. This is not race control thrown. This is thrown by iRacing itself. We're not sure as to why the caution came out, but man, I'm pretty sure everybody and myself were expecting that something had happened. Not really sure as to why the yellow had flown here. We're going to be taking a look throughout the replay first before we show anything. We're not seeing any. It was, I guess, yeah, it was Sean Howell, and it actually was Sean Howell. We found the reason. There was very little smoke, but it was Sean Howell and Christopher Lewis who had made contact on the entry of turn 3. Replay coming up on your screen right now. So 38 top side in that pink car. You literally cannot miss it. Goes to the outside, and oh man, can't tell from that angle, but it was such a quick spin. I wasn't sure if it was Sean Howell or not. We did go to him. We'll ride on board now with Christopher Lewis. And, oh, by the way, at the moment of caution, Robbie Lyons was scored as the leader. Yeah, I don't know about that. We're going to have to rewind this one more time and take one more look at it. So Lewis is following. Sean Howell moves up slightly, and yeah, Christopher Lewis just wasn't expecting that. At the same time, not sure why he didn't let up. Maybe he thought he could push him. But regardless, caution is out for the 3rd time here at Talladega, and we'll see if we can get a moment of caution frame here. The exact frame the caution had come out, and we do have one. This is the exact moment the caution had come out, and we will be seeing that momentarily. But as Robbie Lyons well out front, of course, of, well, in this case, Lucas Cran, but also as well as on the outside of the 33, or on the inside in front of Benjamin Nelson. So here is your field. They're just exiting turn number 2. So We're going to be taking a quick break. It's going to be an 8-lap shootout when we come to the start-finish line here at Talladega Superspeedway. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
We got big-time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. Your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
And we are back live here at Talladega Superspeedway with the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series, the Dega 200 here on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. It's a pleasure to have you here. And boy, oh boy, is this going to be a finish to see. Robbie Lyons coming into this race, started 20th, third to last place. He's 12th place coming into this race, which means he was on the outside looking in for that number 97. He is in line. He chose the outside lane for his restart, interestingly enough. And we'll see if this can help him out. He's got Luke Parks behind him, Benjamin Nelson and Lucas Cram on the inside as well. One row has two drivers locked in. The other row has one driver on the outside looking in, and a driver that's not even in the playoffs, but looking to help somebody in. Waiting for the green to be thrown once again. And it's out. Green flag flies. It's 8 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. A great start by Robbie Lyons. But is it too great of a start for Robbie Lyons is the question. Graham could try and move up to the outside. Does he do so? He half moves up to the outside, then he goes back down to the inside, right behind that number 97. Everyone trying to scramble to get behind on the inside lane as we go down the back straightaway once again. Nelson moves up to the outside lane. What a race this has been so far. Alex Bell looking to get into the fray as well. He was 5th place. He was already relatively locked in coming into this race as Cram had jumped out to the outside now. That's going to leave Lyons almost virtually out to dry. Look at Nelson diving down to the inside lane. Parks giving a huge shot to Lucas Cram. That's going to loosen both of them up at the front of the field. Not sure if Nelson fully thought through what that move was going to do for him. Granted, he is locked in. That's the same with the 44. As the 44 now moves down to the inside lane. Now it's Parks who's out front. He won the stage earlier on this race. Lyons has nowhere to go. He's shuffled to 3rd in line, unfortunately. Alan Bellacino as well back up front. Oh, contact made. Someone flying towards the inside wall. Not sure who that is. Trying to find somebody. I believe that was Brett Murphy. There's no way he actually saved that as well. I think Brett Murphy had just saved that. I thought for sure that number 11 was heading straight for the inside wall, but somehow... One shot he goes out of frame, one shot he goes into, he's back on the racetrack. We're going to have to take a look at this. Off turn number 4. Look at the number 11 here. 45, I believe that's the 45, moves down, sends the 11 flying through, and he holds onto it. What an incredible drive by Brett Murphy. We are back live here, back to live pictures. Oh, contact in the back. That's a 25 Colin Manger in the back on the inside. Slows down into pit road. Spins on the pit road, back on the track. Huge crash. And caution is going to be out in front of the 43 of Kyle Dega, who just did not have a good day. And this is going to be a shootout situation for sure. Now, what we'll have to keep in mind is who is going to be lining up where at the start-finish line. We'll take one more, or on the restart rather, because at this point I believe we'll be having a 2-lap shootout to the end of the original distance of this race. But we'll take a look here at this replay once again. And okay, so it's Christopher Lewis that had moved down to the inside earlier on and made or 1 lap ago and made contact with Brett Murphy. Who made contact with the 25. It was the oh man, he just moves up unfortunately right into the 45. Essentially doors himself, could almost keep it under control, and oh man, just nowhere to go for the 43. Not sure if the 25 was having a hardware issue or what. We'll see here. Let's try to move low or middle. Oh, that was the problem there. He tried to hit the throttle to get back under control, but unfortunately that just sent him right onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, not the best timing to hit the throttle there for the 25, but riding on board the 43 of Kyle Dega. Tries to avoid it. Oh, man, just nowhere to go. Well, caution's out for the 4th time today here at Talladega. The 3rd caution for a actual incident here on track. And, well, as we are fully under caution, we can regroup here just a little bit before we take another quick break. It is Lucas Cram who's going to be lining up in the first place position. Luke Parks will start 2nd. 3rd place is Benjamin Nelson. So Alan Ballacino and Robbie Lyons have a lot to they have their work cut out for them. That's what I'm trying to say here, as Lyons will restart 5th. He is on the outside looking in. Ballacino already in, just looking to solidify that going into next week. Brandon Hoff as well, I believe, already just about in by about 8 points coming into this race. In fact, we'll take one more look as well before we go for a quick break. But there it is. Alex Fox not here this week, although Dustin Schwingle, Alex Bell, Alan Ballacino, Sean Howell, Clint Spillman, Colby Wells, and Brendan Hoff are all here this week. And drivers outside looking in, Kyle Manger, Robbie Lyons, Nick Olson. And unfortunately for the 25, I think it might be all said and done for the 24 of Nick Olson. Not sure where he's at the moment. We'll take a quick look. Actually, Nick Olson, yes, as now mentioned earlier, and that's come back to mind. Unfortunately, Nick Olson having some internet issues, unable to get connected. He's the only retiree of the race out of 22 drivers. 21 still remain. It might be back, although, to the it might be back to 20 drivers now, because Kyle Dega, I believe he used his fastest pair earlier on. And, well, that car is unfortunately just completely destroyed. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here. We'll be back here in time for the green flag. When we go back green, we will be having a 2-lap shootout to the end of the original distance. Again, we've only had one race this season where the race at Talladega has ended on its original distance. Can we do it again for the regular season finale? We'll have to wait and see. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Talladega Superspeedway. Welcome back to the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series for the Dega 200. At the moment, we are in line to be getting a incredibly intense finish here at Talladega. And now it's just a matter of who is going to get to the line first. Will it be the two drivers lining up on the two first drivers lining up on the inside lane that have already locked themselves in? Will it be one driver on the outside lane who is not in, was looking to get a win in the form of Luke Parks? Will it be Alan Ballacchino looking to secure his win? Or will it be fifth place Robbie Lyons, who is on the outside looking in? Anything can happen here at Talladega. Green flag getting ready to fly once again. Will it be for the final time? This time by, as we exit the tri-oval, it's going to be 2 laps to go. Green flag flies at Talladega for the scheduled distance of 75 laps. Can we go the original distance, or will it be extended once again, continuing the trend of going to at least one green-white checker finish? Robbie Lyons did not get going, unfortunately. Maybe he's trying to get to the outside. We'll wait and see, as he has Bell on his outside lane. He has a whole host of cars behind him. Getting a shot down the back straightaway, getting a huge shove down the back straightaway is Luke Parks. Alan Ballacchino pushing him in the 0-2 on the outside lane. Brendan Hoff had moved out to the outside. He's virtually left out to dry now. Does Alex Bell go to the outside to help him? He's hesitant. He moves right back down, cuts the nose off the 97. Hang on to it, guys, because you will have one more lap to go. Contact was made with the 44. I think he went up on 2 wheels, in fact. They're going to be 3 wide. It's not even the final lap yet. Can they make it to the white flag? They can. Final lap, this time by. Luke Parks leads at the start-finish line. And look at this run on the outside. Christopher Lewis and the 45 of Colby Wells charging by on the top side all on their own. The momentum stalls mid-corner. Two teams working together on the very far right-hand side in the middle lane. On the inside, it's someone who's not even trying to race for the playoffs. And then there's Alan Balacino, who gets loosened up by the 33 of Benjamin Nelson. They continue to be 3 wide throughout this field. This is going to be, for sure, the second race that we go the scheduled distance. Alan Balacino could be going out front here. He's clear of the 44 of Cram as they crash behind him. Parks tries to defend. It's the back half of the field that wrecks. Parks getting pushed by the 33. Balacino getting pushed. It's a 3 wide finish here at Talladega. Get the cameras ready and get the champagne ready finally for the 0-2 of Alan Balacino. Finally for the 0-2. He is a winner here. He secures his place in the top 10 in the playoffs coming into this race at the regular season finale. Balacino finally no longer a proverbial bridesmaid once more, no longer proverbial runner-up as he gets a congratulatory bump from Gavin Jones. Congratulations to the 0-2, and what a finish that was coming to the start-finish line. What a race this was, and imagine, this is only for the regular season finale. Imagine what will happen in the playoffs going into the next 4 weeks. What a race this was, but we are not done yet. You have yet to look at your finishing results and interviews of your top 3. Cram and Hoff giving a little bit of a congratulatory bump to the 0-2 of Alan Balacino. The 0-2 should be changed to the 0-1 now at this point, because he is finally a winner here this season as he burns it down at the start-finish line. An absolutely incredible job, and I'm sure relief, and I'm pretty sure all of the excitement in the world is going through this burnout for Alan Balacino. Your finishing results for this race. Alan Balacino wins by about a half car length, coming to the start-finish line in the 3 wide finish between himself and Lucas Cram and Brandon Hoff, as well as Luke Parks as well, all within a tenth of each other. We're going to take one more look at that. Gavin Jones in the 5 finishes, P5, appropriately enough. And then it was the rest of the field after Alex Bell, who finished in 6th. Then it was the rest of the field that pretty much crashed coming to the start-finish line. We'll take one more look at that when we come back. But first off, going to finish up the finishing results here. And it is Rodney Evans from absolutely nowhere. So apparently it was a 24-car field as Balacino blows the engine. Dustin Schwingle finishes 8th. 9th is Lucas Strayer. 10th place, Quinn Gingrich. And then we head to the rest of the field. Brett Murphy, Stephen Gale, Colby Wells, Christopher Lewis, Sean Howell, Dane Cruz, Robbie Lyons, Kyle Manger, Benjamin Nelson, and Clint Spillman, rounding out 11th through 20th. Also, quick apology as well to, I believe it was, we just mentioned Rodney Evans, as well as Stephen Gale for not entirely seeing them this race, unfortunately. So a few scoring errors, but luckily they do make their names known here in these finishing results. And that's Kyle Dega, Nick Olson, and Tim Brangan, who unfortunately was scheduled to start, but did not. So that is your finish. Well, those are your finishing results here from Talladega Superspeedway, but we have yet to get to your top 3 interviews, and we will do that in just a couple of moments' time. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the interview of your top 3 finishers. Welcome back here to the Talladega Superspeedway after an absolutely incredible finish here for the Sim All Racing Group Superspeedway Series. And in fact, we're going to take one more look and see exactly what happened here coming to the start-finish line at the completion of the race, coming from the white flag to the finish. And, well, we're going to do that as well, and we'll get to your interviews in just a quick moment. But what a race in general this has been as we take a look here at the final lap coming from the entry of turn number 3. The wreck started around Dane Cruz, I believe. We'll have to slow this down and take a little bit of a look here. Apologies for the shaky zoom out there. And we'll see if we can zoom out just a little bit more here on this paused frame. And yeah, it's just the momentum on the inside lane, and that just didn't go too well. And then it was relatively, the entire back half of the field had some sort of, the entire back half of the field just got completely wiped out coming to the start-finish line. And my, oh my, what a finish that was. Coming to the start-finish line, one more look as well, just to see that O2 come across the start-finish line first. And this is your entire top 5, all within 1/10 of a second of each other coming into the completion of this race. And the margin of victory is that, just by about a half car length. Then it was Lucas Cram, then it was the 9 of Brendan Hoff, then it was Luke Parks, and then it was Gavin Jones. So we will now get to your interviews with your top 3, and well, we're going to start with the O2 of Alan Balacino, because I'm pretty sure this guy's the most excited person in the world at this point, finally getting a win, and it was right when you needed it at the end of the regular season finale.
Yeah, I needed that one really bad. That's some good momentum going into the playoffs.
It's absolutely, it's. I can hear the smile in your voice as well, I think. I don't know if that's just me, but that's great, though. I mean, just walk us through the entire race, because the entire regular season, actually, I should say, because we've always seen you in the first half of the field the majority of the time, but unfortunately, things haven't gone well. This is the race that did go well, and what exactly went well? Did you notice anything different?
So I don't know. It's just like the luck went my way for once. Because it just takes as you know, with plate racing, things have to go your way, and it's about time it just went my way. Like, it usually goes not in my favor most weeks. So that's what I've noticed. Everything just went like where it's supposed to go in this one. I think that's the only reason I won. Like perfect circumstances. I went high at the right time in front of Lucas, and it all just worked itself out from there. So, it's crazy.
Well, heading into the final 4 races of the season, knowing that you've relatively secured your place in the playoffs for the next 4 races, what are your thoughts?
I hope the next 4 are just like this one. I'd love to win the next 4. That'd be great. Going a 5-race winning streak to end the playoffs. How about that?
That actually would be pretty good. Hopefully that will be the case. But before I go ahead and let you go, who would you like to give a shout out to for your race win here this week?
I'd like to give a shout out to Hoff for giving me that nice shot at the end there. I really appreciate that. That was big in winning this race. He said he had a big run, so that was just awesome. That push, and then Lucas racing there. It was all good. All good.
We're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations once again on the race win, finally, as well, at the end of the regular season. We hope to talk to you again within the next 4 weeks.
All right, thank you.
So that is the O2 of Alan Balacino. Next up is the 44 of Lucas Cram, who comes home in second. No stranger to the top 5. Well, really no stranger to the podium positions, I should say, in any way, shape, or form. So, Lucas, everything almost, it did pretty much go well for you for this race. You tried one last effort coming to the start-finish line to get run on the outside. It wasn't enough to get a win, but it was enough for you to get the second place position.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. That's probably our best finish of the season, the way we kind of fanned out 3 and 4 wide there, and it is technically the closest finish. But coming to the white flag there off of turn 4, I tried to get to the outside of Alan, and then I think he and Luke, Luke was probably trying to block him, and then Alan was trying to block me, and when Alan and I made contact, which I think was a little bit of neck actually, I thought for sure all of us were wrecked for sure. I picked like the left front tire off the ground of my car. It almost ripped the steering wheel out of my hand. So that was a little scary. I'm surprised we made it past that. And then just the last lap was trying to put myself in position, obviously, and getting cleared the outside there off of 4 and getting that run. I knew I was perfectly okay with pushing Alan. He pushed me to the win earlier this season, the first race at Daytona. So I kind of owed him one, and he's had a lot of races in this series. He's been here since the start and has never won, or really up until this season, really even come close. So it was nice to be able to push him, and then I was kind of half hoping I could get a run maybe to get it, or at least just not turn him the way it was kind of shuffled around there. So it just kind of went high there, and it almost actually worked for me. But overall, it was a ton of fun, and it was just glad that all of us right there at least were able to make it out of that clean.
And luckily, everyone did. You've locked yourself in already pretty much by a few races ago. So what are your thoughts heading into the final 4 races of the regular season or the playoff season?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. To be honest with you, Ben and I came in here 10 points apart of the regular season championship. So I'm not sure how close that is to the way we finished in stage points and everything. It's probably really close. So either I, got an extra couple of playoff points or I didn't. But either way, going into the playoffs with quite a few playoff points and have a little bit of a buffer over a lot of the guys, at the bottom that made it in. It's going to be nice. Just gonna, try to have a clean 4 consecutive races, stage points on all of them, and next week at the old Daytona again, it should be pretty fun. It was pretty fun when we went there last time. So hopefully this time I don't get wrecked, and I can try to be there at the end.
Hopefully that is the case. Before we let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your second place here for this week?
Yeah, for sure. Huge congratulations to Alan on the win again. I think that was his 25th start, which is the most before a win. So fun little stat there. But huge congratulations to him. Huge thank you to everybody who came out and raced tonight. It was a ton of fun. All race long. The first run, there were 15 laps. We were 3 and 4 wide. It was insane. It was awesome. Huge shout out, of course, to you for the awesome broadcast. It's gonna be enjoyable to go back and watch that, and it's been great to have you on board this season. Huge thank you to Robbie there for not only working with me in the last restart there, but also helping be co-owner of the league. And I think that's it.
We're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations once again on your second place finish here for this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is the second place finisher, Lucas Cram. And now we finish up tonight with the third place finisher being Brendan Hoff. Brendan, I believe we've actually talked to you at least too often here throughout the season. But regardless, you do come home third place coming into the completion of this race as well in a almost near 3 wide fashion, almost 4 wide, which could have been. But overall, what are your thoughts on this race? Because you were you're 8 points above the cut line coming into this, and now you've virtually, at least unofficially, secured your top 10.
Yeah, I haven't had an interview yet this year, so it feels good to finally finish top 3. I don't know. I came into the race and I said my strategy has usually been to run up front to start the race where I qualify, and then I usually drop back, kind of save my stuff, and then try to get to the front, but it hasn't worked. I know I got a little bit of damage at the end of the stage, so I was just kind of a little mad about that, but then I came down and it wasn't too bad, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to race up front the rest of the race, and it turned out to work. I thought at the end when I got kind of shuffled when Alan and Luke, or Alan and, I think it was Alan and Luke, they were pushing at the top and they kind of left me out. I thought I was kind of screwed, but luckily they kind of got out of shape in front of me, and I had Lucas in front of me, able to push him. It was crazy, I'll tell you that. That was probably the craziest finish we've had of the season. That was insane with a 3 wide throughout the field. But I'm happy to come on P3. I really needed that, and I'm happy to make the playoffs. I was nervous coming in, but made it, did what I had to do.
And luckily, you almost again, well, I'm going to say unofficially secured it, but I mean, you were 10th coming into this. You did finish 3rd. So, just in case at least, what are your thoughts heading into the playoffs in the next 4 weeks?
Just got to do more of what I did tonight. Last season, I was looking, I know car count was kind of down, but I didn't finish outside of like 8th. So, and last year I kind of had a different strategy, or last season I should say. This season with the higher car count, I definitely expected more carnage. Haven't always had it, and I've kind of always been in the middle of it. So my goal is just try to run up front, lead as many laps as I can, get as many stage points as I can. Like I said, do more of what I did tonight, because it definitely worked, and I felt comfortable out there and had a lot of fun. Just hope to maybe get a win. The goal obviously is the championship, and I know it's going to be hard to beat guys like Lucas and Ben who have been up front the whole season. But I'm looking forward to it. I think after tonight, I definitely know that could definitely go after it.
Hopefully that is the case heading into the next 4 races. Before I go ahead and let you go, is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your third place finish here for this week?
Yeah, Grip Motorsports. It's the first time I've been able to say that all season. Grit, they do a lot for me. Kyle Dagger, team owner. Everybody in the Taco Bell, they know who they are. We all work together well during the race. A lot of fun there. But just thank you, Gary, for putting this on. Appreciate the broadcast every week. Like I said, I'm glad to finally be able to talk to you during it or after it. I haven't been able to do that, so feels good.
Hopefully we get to talk to you more in the next 4 weeks. But until then, congratulations on your third place finish.
Appreciate it, Gary. Thanks.
So that is the 9 of Brendan Hoff. Finally, for the first time on the Racing Line Broadcast Network broadcast, we've managed to talk to him after seeing him up front for so often. And well, now it's the time that we have finally talked to him. So now the fun begins in the form of next week. Next week we head back to the one and the only Daytona Superspeedway, well, Daytona International Speedway, I should say, as the official name, and very rightly so. That is the place that we're going to be starting the playoffs for next week. It's Daytona, it's Talladega, and we go back to Daytona one more time, and we go back to Talladega one more time to round out the regular season, although on August 27th, keeping in mind, this is subject to change, but August 27th, there is going to be an all-star race. There's going to be an all-star open, which starts at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time / Pacific Time. Well, Mountain Standard if you're in the correct state that doesn't do daylight savings, also known as Arizona, but 5 p.m. Pacific Time, that may or may not be combined into two combined broadcasts or 2 separate broadcasts. We'll have to wait and see. The Open may not be broadcast at all. Again, it's a whole thing that is subject to change, and it will be called on and audible. But the All-Star race for sure will be broadcast. So we are going to go ahead and sign off here from Talladega Superspeedway, and we hope to see you next week for the first of 4 playoff races for the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series. Thank you again for tuning in, and we hope to see you next week as we wrap up this Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series season in the next few weeks. This has been the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Good night from Talladega.